Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I'm your guide, Elpy, and this is mixed worm bin number 2. This is part of my series from the Time for Pie feeding December 22nd. Today is technically December 30th. However, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, or it is 1 o'clock in the morning now. So it's like the 29th, the 30th. So we're going to say this is the 7.5 day mark since the Time for Pie feeding. And I did a 4-day check-in, and now I want to do a 7-day check-in. Go back and check out the video from the 22nd and the video from the 26th. A quick prelude. It's not a prelude, but this bin, the worms were already into the Time for Pie feeding. They didn't have as much. Their leftovers were different versus the others. But let's also just, I also did a short about adding some dry paper to these castings, because these castings I've been wanting to harvest since October. Well, I've talked about, in September I talked about harvesting them in October. And as was expected, this paper is thoroughly soaked. But the castings still appear to be quite moist. Yep. Oh yeah. So the paper's moist, but the castings, I might add more paper because it's probably from the very large feeding. What makes you think that? Is it because it was a very large feeding? Okay, this is where we fed. Right off the bat, lots of worms. And it's also warm. Quite warm. Yeah, this area is warmer than bin 1 by far. Like, it's, I'm going to leave my hand here. It's quite comforting, warm. And as you see, there's lots of worms. Here's our piece of pie. Worms all around it. Mites on it. We got baby worms. Here's our peppers. Nice worm ball here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beauties. So this feeding zone is very happily occupied by the worms. And you see there are just bundles and bundles of them. The more we go down, and it's very wet, which explains why the castings aren't drying out. You think so, Elpy? You think so? I think it might be why. That's fine. Not a problem. So, since we've decided doing 3-minute shorts is not the way to go for this series, let's just look over here where we fed last time and just see what it looks like. There's some worms. It's a little bit warmer than the rest of the bin, but nothing like the feeding zone as we would expect. It smells like soil. It's interesting. It's not a bad smell, just, it's probably from the leaves. So yeah, there's worms down here. And what I'm actually gonna do is, just a minute please. I'm gonna go ahead and that stuff, it's not overly wet over here at all. So in a sense, it could be a mistake, but you could be thinking what I'm thinking, which is really the focus should just be on putting the dry stuff where you want it to really, really dry. But I'm not going to dig up the feeding zone any more than I already did. So my hope is that, I probably should have put that more in the middle to kind of help absorb more of the moisture. So the next thing that we'll do to help these castings out, oh shoot, that's more of the feeding zone. Sorry guys, I always feel bad when I feel like I smushed them. Yeah, that was my mistake, is I should have, prior to feeding, set up a I should have had some sort of buffer to make up for all the liquid that was going to come from there. But again, I don't need these castings right now. So this is just as a buffer for all the moisture that is going to continue to seep out of that feeding. So, sorry everybody, very abrupt disturbance. All right, we've not been, actually I have been putting a blanket on this one side, the feeding side. I think I will, again, just because I did put all that paper. All right, so that is mixed worm bin 2 on the 29th, 30th of December, 7.5 days after the time for pie feeding. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out the playlist. I might go ahead and put this into its own sort of series. Now we're going to move on to mixed worm bin number 3. This mixed worm bin number 3 is my problem bin. So be sure to stay tuned and see what that 7-day check-in looks like. Thank you so much for your time, and Happy New Year. I wish you well. I hope it's a good year for us all. Yeah, be safe, be well. Bye for now.